So this is the system board of a ThinkPad X61S. The machine's 10 years old, so a certain thing happened that it probably should have been expecting, but I'll show you that in a second. Just wanted to do a thermal compound change on this guy, just because I had the stuff. I had that K5 Pro that I used in the last video, and I brought back my Arctic Silver stuff with me, so I was ready to do a thermal compound change, and then ran into this issue here on the CPU fan, where, oh no, the little clip for the CPU fan connector snapped in half when I was trying to work on it. So that's kind of cool. I tried to pinch it and it fell apart. There were a few other connectors that are made of the same material that did not, but I imagine that the reason this broke is because this is just sort of generally a high heat area. The computer does get very hot. It's a very small computer, so it gets toasty. So I think I'm going to have to get a new fan, unless I wanted to do something like reattach these cables to that connector. I don't have a replacement connector to solder on, and the thing is just cracked. I guess an alternative could be super glue, but that wouldn't really be a smart move, because if I screwed up with the super glue application, that could sort of be a bit of a mess if I ever had to work on a machine in the future. So darn, that's kind of cool. Also, this machine is a piece of crap to take apart. Oh my god, you have to take off everything just to get at the system board, just to get at the CPU fan. So yeah, there you go. ThinkPad X61S. Do not recommend. Well, okay, I do not recommend it if you have to work on it. Other than that, it's great. Get a friend to work on it for you. Alright, so what I'm doing here is I'm just ensuring that everything runs properly. So I was running into an issue for a while where I thought I hadn't rewired the fan correctly, because every time I tried to boot it up I got the BIOS saying fan error, but then I forgot there's two fans in this system. There's this little hand palm rest area fan that goes off as well occasionally, and then there's this one up at the top, and I thought that I rewired that one incorrectly, but I didn't think. So I'm going to do a some sort of diagnostic, whether that is plugging in the hard drive if I can't find a diagnostic on here, just to make sure the fans are running right and the temps are okay. But other than that, I think that I'm going to have to run this machine with that weird, the pins just being right there, like plugged directly in on top of the halfway broken fan connector. I think I'm just going to have to settle for that, even though it's sort of weird. But yep, that's the situation I'm at right now. Alright, just plugged in the hard drive and see if it get activity. We should do. Go, boot, damn it. Really? There you go. Oh, what the heck? Damn it. It's doing some weird things, but it is now finally loading the OS. I just had to let it sit for a while and then chug through some BIOS operations, but now it goes. So there goes the fan. I just remembered that it didn't actually end up figuring out. The other one is going as well, looks like. No, it's not. No, it is not. I didn't end up actually figuring out how to do temps on Linux Mint. So I wonder if I should just grab the hard drive for my other ThinkPad and just stick that in there and see what it does. Might actually do that. Alright, just stuck my little Windows 7 and Ubuntu something. What? Yes it did. SanDisk SSD that I run in my T60. T60? Yeah, T60. I always forget these names. God, there's so many of them. And I was actually considering moving this drive to this machine because I think this actually has SATA 3, though I could be wrong. It might be SATA 2. I don't know. Whatever. I feel like it would be more appreciated in this machine, if I were to get this machine up to good spec, that this would be better on here. As you can see, the graphics drivers aren't there. But, oh shit, the touch point wasn't working. Alright, I will do it this way. And what the heck is my password? That's my password. Okay, so this will be fun, getting to navigate Windows with, yeah, you can see there's no drivers. Spec key. I could actually just have a drive that I could just throw in between whatever machine I happen to want to be using at the time. I wouldn't mind doing that. God damn it, UAC. Ah, fuck. Alright, now. Son of a bitch. Oh, shoot. Okay. Alright, 58 degrees. I should be, I guess that's fine. Whatever. It's all there. It's running. It's happy. For high load. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't mind using this drive in this machine. I guess I could just load the drivers for both machines onto both of the things and then just ignore the warnings that pop up whenever it catches me using them. But yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. It's running at about 100% load, doing a bunch of stuff in the background, I'm sure. 60 degrees. Yeah, that's doable. You know what, as well, I think this is technically a 64-bit architecture, and this is a 32-bit install, because it was on a ThinkPad, or Intel T2500 Core 2 Duo. So that's somewhat interesting. Yeah, I definitely want to do a reinstall if I ended up running this as my main travel machine. You must restart your... I should probably just force shut this down, shouldn't I? Oh god, the switches, Jesus Christ. Should do it, I think. So ignore all that shit and just force it. No? Whatever. There we go. I do like the higher res display on the T60. That's got the 1400 by 1050 or whatever display on it, and that is really nice. So there we go. Shut down, all happy and good. But yeah, so the CPU fan is working in that state. I'm going to find a way to secure it in there, and then keep it running with that sort of the pins just sort of dangling out in the breeze like that. Maybe I'll super glue them. Who knows? Okay, so I have used some super glue or cyanoacrylic glue, which is now going to be forever sealed shut. Even though you'd be surprised that it lasted an entire several months in an open state. Like, I'd used it and then I closed it up and then I took it out, figured it would be solid, and then it was actually flowing, but now it's sealed shut because I didn't do it correctly, so that can go in the garbage. But so I used that to just sort of put a little dab, focus, put a little dab right on there on each one of these contacts, just sort of over them in a general way. So this should be pretty solid in there. It just now, the next person who changes this fan out is going to have a really fun time either removing those or just trying to get that entire thing out. I think that I'll leave this thing out. Whoa, there it goes. I think that I'll probably just leave this out or maybe attach it with some tape to this shielding or whatever, just to remember where it is and remember the situation as soon as I get in there next or for the next user. The super glue shouldn't be too bad, or maybe I'll just write a little note in pencil on this shield here just saying, yo, super glue's holding this thing down. But anyway, hopefully that shouldn't have messed with the connection. In fact, I'll turn it on again after the glue is set just to make sure that everything's fine, and then I'll start putting everything back together. Oh boy.